Hey, guys, come see me do live stand-up comedy. Denver, where are you? Thursday, May 9th, Friday, May 10th, Saturday, May 11th. I'm at Comedy Works in Denver. San Francisco, love Cobb's Comedy Club. I'm going to be at Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco May 16th, May 17th, May 18th, May 19th. Come on, San Fran. Show me some love. Make reservations. That way I know you're coming. Every Tuesday at the Hollywood Improv as well. Love you. Hey, everybody, I'm about to record Forrest Griffin, and I'm having a hard time talking because at the end of this episode, he put me in 3 chokeholds, and I tapped out, and then he hit me in the liver with an open palm strike. Go to youtube.com/morestoriesballs and get that bonus content. I'm telling you this now because some of you guys might tap out halfway through the podcast. You need to really hang in there, or at least right now, go to youtube.com/morestoriesballs. I'm having a hard time talking, but I feel like a man. Enjoy this free podcast.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game change.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Forrest Griffin, star of Law & Order, SVU. Yes. Fired up about that. You played a fighter. What was the audition process like for that?
Hey, you ever fought before? I think I could do it. Yeah.
Were any other fighters? There were actors. There had to be actors that tried to.
It's better than that. I was never the part was for Chuck Liddell, and Chuck had like a scheduling conflict, and my management was like, "Who else you got?" Hey, we got Forrest Griffin. I wasn't even selected for that shit.
Were you and Chuck managed by the same person?
Yeah.
But do you ever think to them, like, why'd you go Chuck Liddell before me? I'm a better actor than Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, Chuck Liddell's a much bigger star, though. You know? Yeah. So, yeah, I would have gone Chuck Liddell,
Chuck was the shit. Chuck, you could make an argument that Chuck Liddell is the guy that really put UFC over at the top.
Yeah, he was.
Because he looked like the everyman.
Yeah.
Except for the mohawk. He was just a regular-sized dude.
Yeah. Well, no, he's a pretty big guy, man.
Yeah?
He's not a little fella. Yeah, he's like me. He's deceptively average.
When you come in at 6'3", walking into my garage right here, Forrest Griffin, star of Law & Order, SVU. What's SVU stand for?
Special Victims Unit.
Yes, well done, sir.
Gosh. That's all I learned.
You're all of 6'3", and it's weird. Like when you meet, we've had fighters on the podcast before, and the UFC guys are always, you guys are all every inch and every pound, and you go, they carry a menace to you.
They measure you. I mean, the below the belt measurement process was horrible.
I've had boxers in here, like Ray Mancini and Chris Bird, where you just go, I don't know, just nice guy.
Yeah, I've worked with Chris Bird a bit. He fluctuates so much in weight. Like towards the end of his career, he was fighting at ridiculously low weights.
Yeah.
Like his body was meant to be.
Well, he says he was supposed to always be that low weight, and he always fought higher because everybody ducked him.
It was one of those things that was like, he kind of was that guy in the middle. Like he was screwed. He was either too big and too slow for the weight or too small, you know?
But when you come in here,
most of it.
You're 6'3", what, you walk around about 210?
No, 230.
230?
Like round numbers, yeah.
What did I say, 210?
Yeah.
You didn't let me finish. I was 210, give or take 20 pounds. But you have like a menace to you. Like, you don't look like a guy that just is going to walk around and fight, but you also, if I saw you in a bar, it's weird, like these 135-pound UFC guys, if you just saw Uriah Faber hanging out.
You'd be like, what is he doing? He's modeling underwear later?
Who's the guy with the cornrows? Who's this white kid with cornrows? Did he just get back from Jamaica?
Yeah, we're going to make fun of that guy. No, I still would, though.
I wouldn't. He would destroy me in about 1 second. 135, he probably walks around about 150 like, damn, I got to cut weight.
And that's embarrassing getting beat up by a little guy, too.
Well, not for me. I'm a radio guy. Yeah. What do I know? I can get beat up by anybody.
You're a radio guy now. It's official.
I am now.
I'm a radio guy.
Radio guy. I liked your book, Got Fight. I guess that was about 7 years ago that came out. Is that around then?
Sure.
Sure?
Yeah.
Get the
close
mic
enough.
close, like a big dick,
So,
like a metal
big black
cock.
things near to my mouth.
It's
I'm
like
used to it.
robot porn. But you've written 3 books.
No, just 2.
Well, who ghost wrote the other one that's on your website?
No, there's only 2
Prepare
books,
for
I
when
think.
shit goes down.
I'll be ready when the shit goes down.
Did you write that?
Yeah, I wrote it.
God Fight. 50 Zen Principles was God
Yeah,
Fight.
yeah, yeah.
I dug that a lot.
And then I was 47, not 50.
Well, it says 50 on the cover.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's right. That's now I remember. Yeah, those sons of bitches wouldn't change it.
No, why should they?
Because I was like, there's only 47. And the last 11 we just made up because we were like, we're tired of doing this. No, I'm serious. We're like,
That's good for Zen because a lot of Zen is...
Fuck, we got 38 good ones. That's good enough, Ed.
When you went in to pitch the book, did you have 10 ironclad Zen principles? You're like, I could sell a book on these 10.
No. I wrote an article. I wrote 2 pages scribbled up like a kid's report. And they were like, yeah, martial MMA sells like a motherfucker right now. Do it. It was just the right time for the market. They were like, everybody's writing a fighting book about their lives.
Do you ever...
No, I pitched it as my struggle, how I rose from sex slavery in South Africa to become the UFC champion of the world.
But sex slave owner. You weren't in. You weren't a slave yourself.
I didn't explain that.
Yeah, that
correctly
really
to them, and I think that's how I got it.
They tried to bury it, but it really stood out. That chapter when you had all your concubines smoking opium, and you would say things like, "Seize him, have him washed, and send to my tent."
Oh, so now it's him, huh?
Yeah, well, I figured
you tried to sneak that in there.
Well, you started it.
Concubine boys. So.
Just fucking. I didn't say you had sex with them. You just owned them. You started it.
I was very concerned. I owned them, and I was very concerned with their bathing habits.
Yeah, you need them clean.
Yes.
Did you give your mom a hard time growing up? Did you do things that might be funny now, but at the time it just made your mom worry about you, like picking out your earwax and feeding it to the dog? Well, now you can make it up to her by sending her Pro Flowers this Mother's Day. Pro Flowers has 1 dozen rainbow roses for just $19.99, or double the roses and get chocolates plus a premium pink vase for just $29.98. That's 50% off, my friends. That is a bargain. You just need my code MOHR, more, when you order to get these special prices. Colorful bouquet of roses that will make your mom smile. This offer is just for the More Stories listeners. A listener favorite. Do more than send a card. Mom will love it. Pro Flowers are guaranteed to last a full week or your money back. You choose the date you'd like them delivered. Freshly picked bouquets, perfect for Mother's Day. Pro Flowers was recently awarded highest customer satisfaction with online flower retailers by J.D. Power and Associates. Visit jdpower.com for more info. Here's the only way to get this amazing Mother's Day deal. Go to proflowers.com, click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in more, MOHR. That's proflowers.com. Click on the microphone and type in more. Order now. Pricing expires soon. Are you, by nature, are you a happy guy? Are you a depressed guy?
I don't know.
You would know.
Can you
if you're
really?
depressed.
No, I don't know.
I mean, because comics are usually depressed. I think actors are not depressed because they're too self-absorbed.
Well,
But you're a fighter. Like you get punched in the face for a living. Do you ever wake up and go, "What am I doing?"
I don't fit any of the right molds. Well, when I was 14, I was going to kill myself. My mom took me to the therapist, and the therapist said I was manic depressive. So
Okay.
I'm still. That was the last time I went to a therapist. So I'm still manic depressive as far as I know.
Because no one reversed it.
Yeah, I mean,
No one reversed the call.
They call it bipolar now, but no, I'm still manic depressive because no doctor ever told me I was bipolar.
Do you feel depressed like as a grown up, or is that just something you did
not
as a
too
kid?
much, no.
So that's
No, it was
how
like
did
a
you try to
thing.
kill yourself? What did you do?
Oh, I didn't actually try. It's way too much work.
So you said you tried to kill yourself.
No,
when you were
no, no,
14.
no. I was
no, that's
just-
what you said.
Oh, it is? I wasn't. I was
We're
just
gonna
cutting,
fucking drop gloves, man.
I
This shit
was
will be
just
over
cutting
quick.
and burning myself, and I wanted to kill myself.
But that's cool. Listening to like Prodigy and getting all into it.
9 Inch Nails, yeah.
How do you
Sitting in my room in the dark,
Well, yeah.
doing push-ups, hating the world. What happened is
in Georgia.
I was pretty like well adjusted.
Sounds it.
I was so like pretty well adjusted for a bomber.
Burning myself, cutting myself, doing push-ups in the dark. Shit was working, bro. Shit was working. And this fucking doctor just breaks into my bedroom.
It's like, you fucking bitch, I'm not back to present.
Well, I'm like, I'm doing diamonds. I'm mixing them up. Fingertips, diamonds, knuckles.
I'm doing squats off my fucking bed. You don't even know.
Just watching Lock Up a Broad on repeat.
I don't have it. Oh.
Was your mom hard? Oh, I guess
no, life was great. Everything was good. I was good at sports. That was my identity. And then I got such a bad hernia my freshman year. I ripped my nut off and had to take my nut off. I know, right? The nut just ripped off. And had
walk us through how a nut gets taken from a body.
So there I am doing power cleans. And I hear like a rip, like it sounds, swear to God, like a T-shirt ripping. But I didn't feel anything yet. I heard like a T-shirt ripping, and I honestly thought somebody ripped his shirt or something. And then my body started to turn into, like, started to shut itself. Like, you know, my head went straight to my knees. Like, and then it felt like I'd been doused with cold water. And so I go home. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck? So I'm trying to, you know, play it off, like act like I'm not messed up. I'm trying to play basketball and football, you know, trying to like go to football practice and stuff. And then my mom was like, you got to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, you got a hernia. So they ended up having to take the nut, put a piece of Teflon on my abdominal wall. I couldn't play sports.
Take a piece of Teflon, let's slow this down, and put it in your abdominal wall.
To keep my intestines from falling on my balls again. Because that's what happened, is my intestines ripped through and hit my balls with such force that my balls came unraveled.
So, well, how come, do you ever look down at the one that's left? Is he like your champion ball?
I love it. It's because it's very...
He's the hero ball.
It's very aerodynamic. Really, if you think about it, nuts is no good.
He's really the Forrest Griffin of balls.
Yeah.
He just was not going to take shit from your intestines are Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Yeah.
They come, they're brown. They come towards, and you one ball. So did you get to keep the ball?
No, I didn't. It's
Do you wish
funny.
you did?
I was a little bit traumatized. So yeah,
buried in the backyard, make a ball tree.
Yeah, I would like have a little thing, and have like a monument of
I know it's like a joke
to the ball.
But wouldn't you would want to keep your ball, wouldn't you? I would.
I don't think I'd care.
No?
I don't care. No.
I didn't know
they
you
came unraveled, so it was like
I don't know what that means.
Your balls are seminiferal tubicles. They're like lots of little tubes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like literally like a nut.
No. So they're seminiferal vesicles or some shit like that. Somebody will look it up. I'm sure about it. Everybody's got.
So it unraveled
now that motherfuckers got Google. I never win an argument.
So if you took the cover off of a baseball, all those strings and shit, it just so your ball. So the rip was your intestine going through the abdominal wall.
Right, and when it hit the nut came unraveled. So yeah, I got that going for me. So I got kind of
depressed.
Is nice.
So then you started doing push-ups in the dark with one ball.
So
rising up.
I got to
back on the street. Lost my ball. Took my chances.
So yeah, I was like, whatever. And anyway, next year I was able to play sports. Life was good.
There you go. There's your photo of your ball. We'll put that up on the Tumblr. We're going to put that up on the Tumblr page.
Sweet.
Follow me at Twitter at jmoore37 at Forrest Griffin. 2 R's in Forrest. Give him a holler. # more stories.
Nah, seriously, don't. You don't want to hear it.
No, I want to know. I track that shit, man. It's important to me. It's real to me, all right? Who was your favorite wrestler of all time? Pro wrestler of all time?
Man, I didn't really watch pro wrestling.
You're too busy fucking people up in real life?
No.
How do you get into fighting? How do you get into it? It's a weird thing.
So many good answers.
But one that's boring in real life?
Yeah, the real one's not good. It's better just say I have a really tiny penis and I just like to salt people over.
Let me see it.
No, I'm not going to do that. It just sounds awkward. I already had to take my shirt off in audition.
Today?
No, not today. Like last time I was out here. They were like, well, what do you look like? Because obviously the parts I'm auditioning for are like, you're supposed to be like a brute,
Scorpion King 11.
Yeah, 11.
Straight to DVD with the Olsen twins. Huh? What'd you say? I want you to have most of the jokes.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not. That's your deal. You're the professional.
No, but you're the guest.
You're an official radio host. So anyway, they're like, hey, what do you look like with your shirt off? And I rip my shirt off. I look like a fucking man. I'm not pretty and tanned and ripped up and lean like those fucking Hollywood freaks. I look like a man. I'm hairy. I'm ugly. I got moles. I do yard work. I got a tan line. I'm a fucking man. That's what I look like. And I was like, get your dollar bills out. I didn't get that part. I really thought like that was funny.
Maybe it's because it was for Wizards of Waverly Place and Nickelodeon. And when the
I
producers
really thought that was hilarious. I thought I was taking it over the top there. Not so much.
Anybody's like that's what I hope it was not for like a kid show.
It was
Thomas the Tank Engine.
I don't think they have. Hopefully, they don't have a lot of grown men taking their shirt off in kids shows.
No, that's why that would have been a little weird to you.
Maybe they
You in God Fight, when I read it, my memory of it was that you were going to be a police officer in Georgia,
but you told the ball story in that book.
Yeah, I remember it. Well, the listeners haven't heard it, so
that's much better.
But I didn't know the specifics, and it's 8 years ago.
How grand it was!
It was amazing. You just heard a rip. Because you probably just thought you farted or something.
I really thought somebody was like ripping the sleeves off their shirt so to show their buffness off. You know,
maybe they had an audition at the gym.
Yes, like what do you look with your shirt off? And I'm like.
Do it right now. You know what? I'll rip my ball instead.
Yeah, exactly.
In the book, God Fight, which it was really great. And good, funny photos. Like, you captioned your photos very funny. There was one where you're in the ring with your arms out. You just went hairy like ape.
Yes.
And it was like you looked lean. You looked about 180, 185 in that photo. Do you remember the one I'm talking about?
You're not really good with numbers. No, I was just in shape. I was just Ripley and shaved maybe.
When you fought like Rampage and Rashad Evans, what weight was that?
Well, you weigh in at 205, but then, you fight. I'm usually like 223, 222.
I thought you were leaner than that. Well, all right. So you're right. I'm not good with the numbers. What in the book, it seemed like you failed your psych evaluation to be a cop. Yeah. But on your Wikipedia page, it says like 14 times that you were a cop.
Does it on my Wikipedia?
It says like you were a campus police officer, state trooper, sheriff's department.
I was a cop a couple different places, but I applied at quite a few. And here's the thing. When people tell you about polygraphs, tell them they're full of shit. Because I passed 2 polygraphs with the same answers. I failed 2 polygraphs. So like I had this job. My buddy was a cop. My buddy was like a sergeant. I had, I'm get a job as a cop. Easy. I got the in, And I got everything. Everything's good. Background, drugs. I've been a cop before. I know what I'm doing, hypothetically. And I failed the polygraph with answers that I'm pretty sure are true. And so, because I was like, well, lady, I've passed the polygraph with the same answers. And the lady was like, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, probably a duck. And she's like, you're lying. You stole stuff and you did drugs. And I was like, yes. And then I wrote it down on that paper I gave you.
So you said you admitted that you did do drugs and stole stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they're saying that you're lying that you did not?
I guess I did more. I didn't include everything that I'd stolen. That's how it works. Because when you fill out a polygraph, they basically ask your question about drugs. Did you answer it correctly? And you say yes.
And you did to this day. You're sticking to your story,
right?
I'm
sticking to my story.
But did you fail the psych evaluation?
I also failed the psych evaluation.
Yeah, that's kind of important for us.
At another department. But I passed the polygraph at that one with the answers.
I think I'd rather a cop fail the polygraph and pass the psych eval.
I had the in. I had a lot of friends. I had the in at that department, too.
Why past tense? Why'd you had a lot of friends?
Well, in Georgia at the time. I don't know.
Right. I'll be your friend.
Okay, good. So, I had a lot of friends in law enforcement at the time, so it shouldn't have been that hard to get a job, but I just kept failing shit.
Well, what's a psych evaluation test in Georgia? Like, what type of stuff is it?
Man, I swear
Hypothetical
to God,
situations?
Yeah, but you're not like even
You're like, then I ripped my shirt off and I talked about yard work, and they're like, whoa.
What do you mean? I'm doing push-ups, cut myself. Everything's awesome. I'm going to possibly fail a psych. Taxi Driver's my favorite movie. No, seriously, we had that.
And to the left.
We had that. You remember, like when you get like free HBO for the weekend?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I remember we got that, and I saw Taxi Driver, and I didn't have a TV in my room, so I'm watching I'm literally like, oh my God, all I do is push ups and burn myself. This is the best movie ever. I was like, oh God, I love this movie so much.
One day you'll open your door and it will be me. Love, Travis. You're a Secret Service man, aren't you? I'm just waiting for the senator. That's a good answer. Good answer for a Secret Service man.
It's good answer. Yeah.
This episode of More Stories is brought to you by eVoice. eVoice is the reason you're going to make more money in 2013 when your customers call. You'll have your own toll-free number, professional greeting, dial-by-name directory, and more. You'll sound like a Fortune 500 boss and blow away your competitors. eVoice lets you give out one number that rings wherever you are. You could be at the beach. You could be at the bar. It doesn't matter. You're going to sound like you're at the office. You got to go to evoice.com. Use the promo code JAY. eVoice even takes all your voicemails, transcribes them, and sends to you instantly as a text or email. How cool is that? You can check voicemails before the meeting ends. You can get all the info before everyone else, and you won't even look rude doing it. eVoice is only $10 a month. But right now, my listeners, for my podcast, you can try eVoice free. That's right, my man or woman. For 6 months, free. That's right, 6-month free trial. Support Fake Mustache Studios. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. No, stop what you're doing. Hit pause. Set up your eVoice free trial and see what I'm talking about. Go to evoice.com, promo code J. That's my name. evoice.com, promo code J. Or just go to jmoore.com and click the eVoice banner right now. This is cool as hell. Are there guys you've lost to that you can't believe you lost to that guy? Like guys in particular where you're like, how the fuck did I lose to blank?
I mean, I really hate Tito Ortiz.
But you beat him twice.
Yeah, I just hate him.
You certainly
so
made
much.
up for it. But he seems to be this polarizing guy, the Huntington Beach bad boy.
So
Does he have a giant head? It looks like almost like a bobblehead version of himself.
He's got a giant head, yeah. I mean, I got a pretty big head too, but his
not
is
really. You got a
disproportional.
regular-sized head to me.
Thank you, good. I appreciate that. I feel better about myself.
What is it about Tito Ortiz that draws your ire?
here's the
Because it seems
deal.
like you really wouldn't give a shit about anybody.
I'm pretty, Rashad Evans knocked me the fuck out. I like him. Nice guy.
You were
Anderson
winning.
Silva.
I had you winning.
Yeah, well, until I was losing. A lot of fights
when you
going
go to
that.
sleep, it's kind of that's the end of the fight.
You lost badly. But no, most people, I'm pretty cool, whatever. I really, I imparted the olive branch, try to be nice to him, I'm very respectful. And when you're, respectful to someone, and they're just like, yeah, you're an idiot, fuck you. And you're just like, oh, my gosh, why was I so respectful of this asshole? I was nice, try to be good sportsmanship, and you just...
So you guys fought 3 times. You beat him twice, right?
Well, I mean, I would.
But once you lost a decision in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Do you think that was because it was close to where he lived?
No.
Do you think you lost that fight?
Probably, yeah.
Really?
It could have been a draw. But
could have went either way?
Lost. Yeah.
Do you think
it could have been a draw?
Yeah. And then the second fight, you submitted him once, right?
No, I never.
No, it always went the distance?
Nobody's ever stopped anybody. I'd fight him in a parking lot for sure. Just
for fun.
Till somebody's
you're coming out of Spearmint Rhino.
Till somebody can't physically go or says, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and then we could just not. It'll be over.
What does it feel like to get knocked out? I've been beaten up a bunch, but I've never had my lights taken out. But explain to a guy.
It is horrible. Let me tell you. Here's the thing.
Because getting beat up, I will say that real quick. I will say this to people: when you actually get your shit kicked out of you, it's really not as bad as your whole life leading up to that you put into it. Because you wake up the next day and you're just in pain, and you're like, "Well, I don't want to do it again." But it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But to actually have your lights go out, I don't know. The guy listening to this podcast really knows what that's like.
Well, here's the deal: with everybody, lots of people go out different. I'm still there. My body is just not doing what I tell it to do. It's a horrible feeling. People are hitting me in the face, and I'm telling my hand to, move, and it's just making, wild signals, and, I'm like, oh, my God, you're giving your body directions, and it's just not following them. When you see guys stagger with the wounded deer, the deer, deer just come out of the... freshly born deer, I guess what I'm trying to say.
A deer trying to learn to walk.
Yeah. And they're telling their body to walk normally. The nervous system's just not doing what it wants to do.
I had a guy tell me once, your feet actually are looking for the floor as opposed to simply standing on the mat.
Yeah,
you're kind of looking
that.
around for it with your feet.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
That is a very accurate description.
Have you been choked out where you've gone unconscious?
Yes, I have.
That's
it was awesome. It was awesome. Didn't even stop masturbating. I woke up. It was the greatest night ever.
You were in the Philippines with the lead singer of In Excess.
Yeah.
Vacuum bag around your head. Just cut me down. Right. No, who choked you out?
Oh, a bunch of people.
Well, give me a name.
A guy named Rob Drysdale. A bunch of people I train with. I don't think I've ever been put out in a fight. Yeah.
Now, when you're going out that way, do you get tunnel vision? And just how does that go?
Yeah. Well, first there's a set of panic.
Okay.
Panic. You're like, oh, I can't breathe. I got to do something.
Probably right when you realize you're in a guillotine or ready to make a choke, you go.
So you're panicking, and then you're just like, yeah. And I almost think, I'm gonna. You're thinking fight hands, whatever. You're like, I'm gonna do that later. Right now, I'm just.
I'm surprised more guys. You would think that guys would train because what you guys do, MMA fighters and mixed martial arts in general, and especially when you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you get choked so much all the time. You would think some guy would have cracked the code mentally, and you have seen guys. I have, so you certainly have seen more than me. Guys that don't tap, they just go to fucking sleep, and the ref has to realize this guy's unconscious.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised there isn't just more sociopaths that are like, no, I'm just not going to tap. You can choke me out.
It's a sense of panic, you get that, and then you like your.
It's the human will taking over everything you've ever been taught and trained.
That sounds like definitely a better explanation of it than I've ever had.
Well, I'd rather hear yours. Because I've never been choked out.
Sometimes
Don't plan on
it's the front of your throat just getting crushed in, and it feels like your windpipe's getting crushed.
Would you rather your balls get crushed or your windpipe get crushed?
I'd probably rather just I've only got the one nut,
So you got to hold on to that guy. Do you floss it?
Yeah.
Do you baby it?
No, I don't really care. Here's the thing. If I lose it, I can just inject male hormones into myself. It's not a big deal.
And I'm not making a joke, do you have like a marble where the other ball was?
No. All right.
You have like a half-empty bag?
Here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
They weren't expecting to have to take it, so they didn't have it in. They didn't have, my size in. I'm not even shitting you. This is another thing.
What,
made me upset. I don't know. But, I was 14, so I guess they were like, well, we needed a medium. So, do they switch them out? Do they grow? What the fuck?
So you just have, an empty, tire on one side?
Yeah. Watch them. Very tiny little scrotum.
That's fantastic.
Everything centers itself up. It works out.
I respect you as a fighter so much because your rise came. It seemed like it came out of nowhere. Like Tito Ortiz had a whole lot of hype, and Ice Liddell was just knocking fools out. It seemed like you're one of those guys. I don't know if you're a natural or not, but you seem to have just made yourself into what you are. Like nothing really came easy. And then what really got me to respect you the most. Well, your book impressed the shit out of me, but just the fact that you took the Anderson Silva fight.
What a bad idea. Well, I regret that greatly. That was dumb.
Do you regret it?
Yeah, that was dumb.
It was fight of the night, right?
Yeah, but
didn't you get some dough?
I got some dough, but I mean, I would.
Ronda Rousey told me she doesn't know what the bonus is. She thinks that Dana White makes it up on the spot. Do you know going into your fight what knockout of the night money will be?
Yeah. He says it at the weigh-ins.
Oh, so he just didn't tell her.
After you weigh in, he gathers. She wasn't paying attention.
Just guys.
He gathers everybody up and is like, "This is what we're doing," blah blah blah, and it's like, he gives a big motivational Dana White speech. Like, you going to entertain these people. You fight out there. You show your heart, whatever, and then. And we'll give you money. And he usually breaks it down. Yeah, that's
the Anderson Silva fight for the peripheral fan. He's like this unbeatable guy.
Love talking about it too.
Huh?
It's great. Love it.
Well, I'll tell you why you should like talking about it, because you had one of the best explanations I had ever heard. You said, you probably don't remember saying it because he knocked you out. But you said, one day someone's going to catch this guy with a shot. Why can't it be me?
Yeah,
and I was like, that's like what
the
Brazilians talk about, like their dogs. They have to be game in dog fighting. And I was like, he's game.
Yeah.
Your gameness is off the chart. Like, fuck it, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
Kind of, it seems like that's what Chael Sonnen is doing now with John. Like, I don't think anybody really thinks Chael's going to beat John. And do you think Chael thinks he can beat John Jones? Probably.
But there's got to be a part of him. Like, maybe he doesn't wholeheartedly isn't confident about it, but there's got to be a part of him that says, guy's going to have an off night,
Did you think you had 50-50, like 10% chance going into the Anderson Silva fight?
I thought, obviously mistakenly, that I could, make him back up, make him, I just wanted to show people him sweating, like him in a tough situation, him.
Yeah, he didn't sweat.
That's the exact opposite.
I remember
of what
you're wearing a
happened.
Muhammad Ali shirt, and he was doing like Muhammad Ali, like dodging every punch with his head moves. Yeah, but he has legs like Dave Chappelle. Like you would think somebody, you don't expect that power coming out of a guy with legs the size of pipe cleaners.
No, and then he just moves them just speed, velocity.
Who beats him?
Age, nobody.
Really?
Maybe Jones, but I don't think the longer the longer it goes, the better Jones gets, and the older, I think he'll quit on top. I mean, just from what
Both
he
guys
says,
in their prime, who wins?
I don't know. I don't know that we've seen Jones's prime yet.
Yeah, it's amazing. UFC.
Jones is what, 23, 24?
Yeah, but he lied about his age to get into the Caribbean World Series. He's like 40. You're coming back, right? I know you had ACL, MCL, and meniscus. Now there's all these articles I looked up online, like 5 people he's got to fight. You know, do you have a timetable for when you'll come back to fighting? Or is it like, do you care?
Yeah.
Must you fight again for you?
I don't know, not really. I mean, I enjoy doing it. Here's the thing, I was thinking about it. I really like having the excuse, babe, I can't do this, I gotta go to work, which is go
Come
train.
on, Mike and Tony are having game night.
Yeah, right?
Can't play Parcheesi, I'm in training.
I
gotta do diamond push-ups in my room, listen to Morrissey.
Exactly. Morrissey, it just gets weirder. I love some Morrissey.
I do too, actually. Everybody's like secret, like, yeah, that guy's kind of, I'd like to hang out with Morrissey. He's cool. I want his hair.
I'm glad we shared that moment. I wish we hadn't done it on the radio, though.
It's fine. No, we'll take that part out. So you really like fighting. So this has been a really long layoff for you.
Yeah.
How did you tear your ACL, MCL, and meniscus? Training?
Training hard,
When that happens, do you just see like dollar signs fly out the window, or is
no? I mean, it was more like I'm not super concerned with money. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, but it was more like my thing. What I really enjoy doing is working out, like just being active, using my body, doing push-ups in my room in the dark, and just not
make up another band, listening to
right.
Just make another one up. Just doing push-ups in the dark, listening to
Fish.
Hey, perfect.
Yes. Hey, they do some great covers.
Why not? Yeah. Halloween show.
Yeah.
So you like working out. So this job you have allows you to do what you like doing the most, which is...
And then just... the cool thing about being a fighter is one of the important things is being able to say no to everything else in life. A lot of being a fighter isn't about training. Now, guys say they train 1 million hours a week. I don't. But it's about not doing things. That's what makes you a good fighter. Not, going out with your friends, not staying up, not, chasing that girl. That's kind of, unfortunately, what it's about. For me, it's about not eating that.
No pancakes and beer for me.
Right, quit eating that. Yeah. So, it's easy. You just have to do less.
I tweeted that you were going to be on, and somebody tweeted back immediately, is he going to write another book? Literally like the first Twitter response I got.
So I've actually been working on another book since I finished the last one, and there's not going to be another book, and it's my mom's fault. There is maybe eventually, but so I put all the notes of the book in my phone, so all the notes, don't back it up, nothing like that.
You need carbonite, bro.
Yeah, I need something. iCloud, I think I got now.
Yeah, carbonite puts it up in the cloud.
But so my mom's like getting directions. She's coming to our house. And like for some reason she's like going through a tunnel so she can't hear me. I'm trying to give her these directions and I give them to her and I give them to her and I just get frustrated and I throw my phone and just spike it on the ground. And it had an OtterBox on it, but I destroyed the phone. I go to the thing and they're like, yeah, we can't save any of it. It's ruined. So
what was that book going to be about?
It's like a self-help book. Like how to do push-ups in your room while listening to Fish, Morrissey. Yeah.
Bad brains just keep getting. That's fucking great. A self-help book. How not to tear your nut. How to not burn yourself. How not to cut yourself. And how not to break your phone.
Yeah.
Step 1. Don't throw a phone with book in it. Don't throw phone with book in it.
Yeah, at least back your phone up,
But you can get that shit back in your mind. You jot it down.
Yeah. It was just frustrating.
Don't leave that money on the table, bro. I know money, you say it's not that important to you, but it's important for me for you to have it.
The stupid thing is now I have a kid, and maybe another one will have. I don't know. It's crazy.
You have a beautiful daughter.
I do, yeah. So you got to, money became more important because I want my daughter to go to the school that all the cool kids go to.
Yeah.
And I want her to have, the
Jimmy Kimmel School. He's a Vegas guy.
Yeah.
And the kid from, All right, that's great. That was nice.
So
that
we
I
got
couldn't
him
pull.
there. That's the guy. But no, I want to go and have new cars and stuff. You want to give your kids everything.
What's the show with Joe Mantegna? Mandy Patinkin used to be on it.
Oh, Criminal Minds.
Yeah, the kid from Criminal Minds. He went to that cool Las Vegas high school, too. UFC champion, former UFC champion. I hate saying that. I want you to be champion again.
Yeah.
Former UFC champion Forrest Griffin. We're going to be back in 60 seconds. Your mom always spoiled you. Now it's time to spoil mom with berries and flowers. You can spoil her twice. This is a one-day only offer. Send mom a beautiful bouquet of flowers, and on the very next day, have freshly dipped strawberries delivered from Sherry's Berries for only $39.99. She gets the flowers. She thinks she's done. No, you're not done. Berries. Boom! I get you berries, too. Berries dipped in white milk, dark chocolatey goodness, topped with chocolate chips, decorative swizzle, or nuts. Flowers are beautiful and classic. You just need my code MOHR, M-O-H-R, when you order. Here's the only way to get this amazing Mother's Day deal. Visit berries.com, B-E-R-R-I-E-S, berries.com. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in M-O-H-R. Go to berries.com, click on the microphone and type in MOHR. This offer is good for today only. Order now. All right, Forrest Griffin, I don't know if you know this or not, but people in my podcast, they go to jmohr.com, they click the Amazon banner to buy stuff. So if you want to buy things for your daughter from Amazon, go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner. I get a kickback. That's why there's so many nice golf clubs and baseball bats here, and a massage chair over there, and an elliptical that's not plugged in.
Well, I buy everything off Amazon anyway.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Bro, hook, instead of do you have an Amazon on your toolbar? Does it say Amazon up here?
I think so, yeah.
Replace that with jmohr.com. Seriously. And then every time you go, it just saves you money, and it saves me. It gives me actually money from the show.
Right, they give you credit. Yeah.
That sounded desperate. I didn't mean it to be. But anyway, I tell the listeners, email me what you bought. Paula Doucet said, I went to jmohr.com while listening to more stories with Kevin Farley, and I ordered Jay Mohr's books, I Know Why My Parents Drank, and Gasping for Airtime through the Amazon link. I'm no Sarah Brady, but that's a J overload. I'm a true warrior. Love your podcast. Makes me laugh every time. I never miss it. Keep up the good work. Can't wait to see you next time you're at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. I'll be there in June. Paula Doucet, way to go, girl. You just made yourself red in front of a real man who rips his shirt off with Paula Doucet.
I wish I ripped it off. I just took it off. But it'd been the story's better if I ripped it off.
Hulk just, macho man. God Fight was a great book. Order Forrest's book on Amazon. Go to jmohr.com. I read God Fight. I really loved it. You certainly don't take yourself seriously, and I think that's rare.
No, see, I've found out that the key to modesty is just the right amount of self-hate. So, boom, there you go. You'll never take yourself too seriously.
How long before you fight again?
Oh, we're probably looking at 4 months till I can train. Probably January next year, maybe.
Phil Davis, who's like if styles make fights, I look at a Phil Davis, a collegiate wrestler, an up-and-coming guy, and I can see you kind of walking through a guy like that.
No, I'm not walking through. He's going to take me down. It's a good fight, though.
You have a black belt in jiu-jitsu?
I'm told I do, yes.
How come I never see any of your fights on the ground? You just really like to stand and get punched and punched.
No. That's kind of a misconception. I suck at wrestling.
Right, but jiu-jitsu, you're still on the ground.
Yeah.
Let me explain how fighting works for us.
Okay.
No, explain it. No, explain it to me. What is it?
I obviously don't know what the hell I'm doing out there.
What is it? How come so few of your fights do I see you on your back doing jiu-jitsu?
I think I do, because people want to punch you in the face when you're trying to do jiu-jitsu to them. People are rude like that.
What?
With
Yeah,
elbowing and then
no more gentlemen in this sport,
and then not letting you armbar them and such. Do you ever do jiu-jitsu?
No, I wrestled, and then I've noticed when you run into jiu-jitsu guys, you're first of all they can clasp, and you're like, whoa, you can't clasp. The whole I'm used to high school and college wrestling where you can't clasp your hands, and then you're goofing off with a guy in the hallway at work, and you're like, you're cheating, cheating, and then you're in a front headlock and he's choking you.
Yeah.
Instead of using just a front headlock to go for a roll, a Granby roll, all of a sudden you're getting choked out at work.
There are rules to this, man. It's not Vietnam.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It should be. Mike Tyson said everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the nose. You seem to start your fights like you just got punched in the nose.
That's funny, yeah. My quote was, Mike Tyson said everybody's got a game plan until they get hit in the mouth. My plan, go out and get hit in the mouth. Develop a game plan from there.
And now, how it obviously works well for you. You were UFC light heavyweight champion. When that belt goes around your waist, it's inconceivable when you're growing up in Georgia and you just enjoy weightlifting and playing football and fighting with your friends and fighting on a lower level. And then you're in the UFC, you're on the Ultimate Fighter, you're coaching, you're playing Rampage and all these guys. Yeah. When that belt goes on your around, I mean, you're in the upper 1% of the upper 1% of the upper 1% of anything anybody listening to this podcast will ever do. And not to be a douchebag comment like, what did that feel like when you guys won? But you got to give me, what is that?
The one thing I'll say is it's amazingly how quick the extraordinary becomes ordinary. How quick extraordinary becomes expected. You know, you win it, you're like, okay, and then what next? You know, it's always what next? You know, what do I do now? So it's like, all right, I got that. I wanted that. Check. Now, so now I'd be get it again or something like that,
Yeah.
For me, my goal now is just like, did you see that Vanderlei Brian Stan fight?
Yes.
Yeah, my goal is just to be in a couple more fights like that, Even if I lost, if it was a good fight, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd fight, I would fight Anderson Silva again. I really would.
But why would you not give a shit if, like, you give yourself brain damage or you break an orbital socket?
I mean, me, brain damage, not that big of a loss.
No,
really,
I've had some dummies in here, and you're sharp as a tack comparatively.
I'll tell you one thing,
I've had some musicians in here that could barely talk.
I'm getting a little slower, I think. Maybe it's just age. Maybe it is getting hit in the head a lot. But I go out a lot easier than I used to. I can't physically take the punishment I once could, which sucks, So I did not mean to get to be 35.
Do you start training differently? Do you start training defense?
Well, you just train smarter, you spar less, you spar differently, and I think I've shown that in my fights. People haven't been thrilled by it, but I would like to go out a couple more times and just, like, throw crazy thing, like try and jump, fly, kick people in the head, see what happens.
It is amazing. Are you a boxing fan, too?
A little bit.
There's like AJ Liebling and all these great, but like Norman Mailer used to write really prolific stuff about boxing, and like when Chris Bird sat right where you were sitting.
I don't know that era.
Former heavyweight champion, two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Chris Bird. It's there's guys that write so poetically about boxing where like Chris Bird sat there and he's linked all the way to Jack Johnson just through the series of belts. It's this crazy tiny lineage of guys, and UFC it's infinitesimal how few champions there were. But when you get the belt, do you feel a part of something greater, or was the sport still so new that there isn't that lineage yet to the belt?
I don't think. I guess there is actually that lineage, because you think about it. The guys I grew up when I started, it was Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell. Those were the guys that were the big stars of the sport. Maybe Matt Hughes, and then other guys came in later. But and to do something they did is pretty cool.
What would you do if you weren't a fighter? Obviously, you can't be a cop because you lie on your tests.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But wait, how do you fail? You never answered. How do you a psychic evaluation? A psychic evaluation.
No, here's the thing. Obviously, I'm not totally right, so I could fail a psych eval, but it was like shapes. Like they want you to like match shapes and shit, and they were like, "Nah, man."
They're big on shapes.
They ask you like what shapes go in what. It's not like a Rorschach test that I was like, that's a man that's in love with his mother. It's disgusting. It wasn't like anything crazy. It was just like I filled out this thing in shapes, and then a week later they were like, your application has been, whatever. You can reapply in 14 months. I was like, what the fuck?
But did they specify that?
I was like, what the fuck? In 14 months? Yeah.
Yeah, in 14 months
I won't
be healed.
Be crazy.
Well, you'll take the medicine that your doctor gave you when you were 14. Were you prescribed anything as a kid when he said you were manic depressive?
I think so, yeah.
But you didn't take that shit.
No.
You sold it to your friends, made a profit like a smart kid.
And then in high school, they gave me Adderall, and I wouldn't take that either because I was all about getting bigger, and it kind of curbed my appetite. So
did you wrestle in high school?
No, hell no. I was cool.
When did you start jiu-jitsu?
I was like 20.
20?
Yeah.
But you were safety in football?
Outside linebacker.
I like it. You're very nice. He's like, I'm wrong, but you said it like, you're close. Defense.
We ran sprints together.
Nose tackle, corner, same. Yeah, you know what? Yes. You know what? Yes. How do you decide what music to come out to in a fight?
Yeah, it's just music you like, you know, something that gets you going, I guess.
Well,
something
yeah, but
that gets the blood pumping.
But maybe I put too much import on it. Like when you're coming in, it's Las Vegas, it's Mandalay Bay.
Check this out.
Yes, sir.
I would have to fight until I'm 512 to come out to every song. I think that'd be an awesome song to come out to.
You're gonna come out to Fish when you fight Phil Davis.
Yeah.
If you do, I'll give you $1.
No, it's not worth it. I want to come out to that Wood Kid guy, Run Boy Run.
No,
it's good.
You strike me as like a Dropkick Murphys guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I come out to them. I just went to their concert Friday.
I saw your tweet.
Oh,
you said it was beyond surreal after the wake of what happened in Boston.
It was kind of odd, you know. And then they talked about it, so it was kind of, hey, you're not a big gun guy, huh?
I am actually. That's why that whole thing was like absolutely ridiculous.
Wait, I don't know. Do you like guns?
Yes, it's the complete Second Amendment right for everybody. And I put a tweet out like in the heat of passion, and you hit that send button.
Yeah.
And you realize you wrote repeal the Second Amendment, and you're like, no, that's not the message I wanted to get across. It was a cry for peace, and I know there's zero connection between guns and Boston bombing, and people just bombarded me on Twitter, and I even tweeted. I followed it up by saying there is no connection. It's just I'm looking at violence, and the last time I was looking at this violence was little kids getting shot in a schoolroom, and it's like we're getting used to this, and that's what hurts my heart is that we're getting good at responding to this, and the first responders are so great in this country, but it just was it's one I wish I could take back because I am a gun guy.
Yeah, that's funny.
At least I don't know if I'm a.
Do you have a bunch of guns?
No. Compared to
no, you have a gun though?
I had a .357 Magnum that when I had a child I took back to the police station. And if you want a weird situation,
See, we got to get the gun safe, and now I always carry a gun, but now we never have guns because they're in
how are
the
you gonna
safe.
get your gun out as locked up as it is for your kid? You're gonna go home invasion. Hold on a second.
Here's the thing. Well, I shouldn't give away too much, but I have a thumb safe. You know, you put your thumb on the top. And
I didn't have that time.
It's only me and my wife's, thumbs. So we
you don't think your baby's thumb is going to be similar to you and your wife's thumbs?
Well, I mean, if our baby kills itself with a gun that she gets out of our thumb safe, we got a hell of a lawsuit there. So there's that. That'll make up for the loss of my child, my only child.
How you doing? Great. Just got $11 million from the state of where's Las Vegas? Nevada. From the state of Nevada? Well, really? Good for you. Yeah, my kid died.
Yeah, my kid shot herself. Yeah, her thumbprint was similar enough to mine. First time it ever happened.
I'm so sorry. Don't be. Look at this Rolex. Jesus.
Life insurance pays off double in a plane crash. Yeah.
When I returned my gun, I had to call the police. And I said, I want to return this gun. How do I go about it? I'm done with it. And they said, just bring it in. That's literally what they said. Yeah. And so the nearest one, I was living in the Hollywood Hills. It was only a couple of years ago, and I went to I went to a police station. But I realized I'm walking up to a desk sergeant's desk. Mm-hmm. With a fucking .357 Magnum, and all the rounds are separate, obviously. But, that's a weird moment when you realize everyone in here is a cop waiting for this moment. I'm the psycho, I have a gun. But I'm I'm returning. Yeah. Can I talk to you in private?
No, it's the same way when I go to register my guns, you know? It's a weird thing. As you go in and you're sitting there, you're like, I got a fucking gun on me. These people, you're like, it's kind of weird, I
used to always go to the range. There's a range called the Firing Line in Burbank. And what I loved about it, and this is what's great when you go to a firing range, if you're a member, they'll just let you use any gun. There's a wall of guns. And you're like, you know what, today? It's like a menu. You know what? I'm going to have a little flan. And you're like, I'll try the Desert Eagle. And you just go in there, bang, bang, bang. And you're like, now I'll try the 22. 22 snub nose. Let me try the 22 with the long nose. And you just go on. And you just shoot. And it's it almost seems impossible that it's legal. That you just go to these places. And I always wonder, what's to keep the guy next to me?
All right. First, this guy, I think the same way. Hopefully just you and your gun. The fact that if he shoots you, somebody's going to shoot him.
I don't know why it doesn't happen more often.
Here's the thing, man. And this is the thing. I always say I carry a gun and a Valium for the same reason, in case of emergencies, If I feel like I need my gun, take my Valium first. So
and then you got to wait a half hour.
Yeah, for the sake effect. Good point.
Did you, in the Apocalypse book, what's that? I did not read it. I don't lie on this show.
No, you should.
What
I
was
lie all the time. It's better that way.
No, I can't. I've turned it all over, my man.
Nah, Lions where it's at. Just for courtesy.
Well, when I got my
it was
black
great,
belt,
Forrest.
yeah.
All right.
When I got my black belt in Wing Chun, see, I'm lying right now.
Yeah,
see?
but I bought it. I was like,
See?
cool.
See?
About to hear a Wing Chun story.
Yeah, not very effective in the octagon. Your kung fu is no good here, I believe. Is that the Pat Militech school?
Something, yeah.
Your kung fu is no good here. When you're what's the name of the Apocalypse book?
Be ready when the shit goes down.
Okay, in that book, which if you had to bet which Sam Sheridan's an author, wrote a book about the all different apocalypse and he trained all different things. If you had to guess which version of the apocalypse was actually going to go down, what will end the human race? I go super virus.
Super virus? That's a good call. I think scarcity of resources. You know, it's going to
running out of water.
Running out of water.
We are running out of water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Eventually, you know, when it gets to a point where people are like, "Hey, fuck this! That guy's got water. I need that." You know, and then it'll go.
Do you think
there.
like I do?
Scarcity
You go,
of resources.
I'm all right, and my kid, it'll be my grandkid. Yeah, fuck it.
That's literally what you got to think. You're like, well, I'm fine.
My kid's
my daughter's probably going to be all right.
My great grandkids,
I'll be totally dead by that.
Great grandkids, I'm all right.
I'll be totally dead.
So scarcity of water, resources being water, or
water, food, fuel, everything.
Well, pick one.
The air's unbreathable. All of them. Yeah, no, it's scared. Like the overall just
Did you prepare in the book? Did you go and do like survival training?
You know, I did some stuff like that, yeah. And since we had our daughter, I've realized that I'm just fucked. I'm just going to die. I just hope we die in the first wave.
The number one thing...
Because I would have to... Maybe on my own, I'd have a chance. I'd have to leave everybody. Leave my family behind.
Yeah, it's hard to survive an apocalypse.
Dead weight. You can't carry 2-year-olds
with a baby Bjorn. Walking around with a baby strapped to your chest.
Get your earplugs in, sweetie.
Yeah, you're hitting your baby with shells.
Yeah.
They say the number one thing in a disaster that kills the most people right away is milling. It's like they had to come up with a word for it. Milling. And that's like when all the shit goes down, a bunch of guys like you, me, and Angie here just going, hey, like, what the fuck's going on? Or like when you're in a building and the fire alarm goes off and no one gets up from their desk.
Yeah, no.
In the towers in 9/11, when the first plane hit in the first tower, anybody from a Middle Eastern country, anybody from Central America, anybody from like Thailand, they fucking split because they were used to like buildings falling in. And the rest of us, like you and I, would be like, whoa, what's going on? Milling. So you got to go. Me and like 8 of my friends know exactly where we're going to meet when the shit goes down. Now, granted, we don't want to have any water or food, and I just gave my gun to the Los Angeles Police Department.
Yeah, I mean, you're screwed.
Let's say you're like Forrest Griffin. You're going back into UFC. You got to plan for your future. You do financial planning. You get insurance. But to get real peace of mind, you got to make sure your family is legally protected. So where do you turn for affordable legal protection you can trust? LegalZoom.com. For over 12 years, they've been helping Americans get personalized wills, powers of attorney, living trust, real estate documents, and more. LegalZoom also helps start and maintain businesses with incorporation and LLC filings, trademarks, and copyrights. Their time-saving service was developed by a team of experienced attorneys, and LegalZoom takes care of you from start to finish. LegalZoom documents have been accepted by courts and government agencies in all 50 states. LegalZoom is not a law firm, but they can connect you to an attorney and provide self-help services at your specific direction. For even more savings, enter MOHR, more in the referral box at checkout if you're a parent or entrepreneur. Don't wait any longer. Call or visit LegalZoom.com and protect what's yours. LegalZoom.com. Enter more MOHR in the referral box. Are you? Do you watch the survival shows? What's your favorite? No, reality TV?
I hate reality television.
Honey Boo Boo?
No, never.
What are you watching? What's your thing, man?
Oh, man, I watch good television.
Like?
It's like, you know, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad. Oh, the shit that's easy, like, obviously.
Have you ever done crystal meth?
No, I keep meaning to, though.
Well, you should.
What is it? Really?
It kind of hurts going down. It's not like cocaine. You get that, whoa, nice. And meth is like, what the fuck is that? Whoa, nice.
I've only ever smoked weed, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty shitty weed. And that last time I did that, I was 17.
You've really not had drugs that long?
No, well, I mean, I'm on steroids now. I rub testosterone cream on my shoulders every
What about
morning.
deer antler spray? You ever tried any of that?
No, but I mean, if it'll heal my shoulder and knee, I'll get all over that shit.
Why does your shoulder keep not working?
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do in June? I'm actually gonna go get some. Go to Germany and get some stem cells shot.
You've been talking to Dana White. They cured his Meniere's disease.
Yeah, supposedly. I've heard a bunch of stories now. Yeah, but Dana White.
I interviewed on my radio show.
That was the sell. That was the final. I was
and
like,
my
okay.
mother-in-law has Meniere's, and she'll have like 2 days where it's like someone picks up the house and shakes it. She feels like she's going to fall out, and she's sitting here just like you and me.
Yeah.
But it's as if she's on a goddamn a ride.
Tilt-a-whirl, whatever.
Yeah, it's terrible. And Dana, he had that stem cell in Germany. They reversed like the Pope's dementia by like 10 years when he went his knee. How about the Pope had surgery using stem cell research, and that's who's blocking it all.
I thought it was Bush over here. Like, I thought it was actually over here. Yeah, but
same. My friend of mine's in a wheelchair from high school. He had a freak accident, and I never knew where I stood in stem cell research. And he said to me, Scott Chesney, I'll give a shout out to Scotty,
fuck
motivational
that.
speaker.
Where do you stand on? That's easy.
He goes, if I could walk again, because like the frozen embryos that me and my wife have right now, if we're not going to use them, instead of destroying them, we can donate them to stem cell research. And this guy could walk up the quarterback of the football team is a sophomore. He could finally fucking walk in my driveway again. Yeah. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But it ain't going to happen. You got to go to Germany.
Yeah. Or even Mexico's ahead of us. That's so sad. Come on.
I don't know if you ever want any medical procedures done in Mexico.
No, you don't. I don't. But
or Manhattan. Manhattan's bad too.
Like the city, Manhattan?
Yeah, my mother used to say when I lived in Manhattan, she goes, what's that like?
But
my mother used to say, get in a cab and go to Jersey.
Manhattan is awesome. I thought
it's just a huge overload of destitute and the homeless and the drugs and it's not like a suburb. Like you can drive a half hour to New Jersey and you're in like a beautiful suburb where they're like, whoa, look at this guy with the gunshot wound. You're not one of many.
Gunshot wound. Yeah, put him in the line.
What keeps happening with your shoulder? Why does it not work right?
Well,
when did it first go out?
Like 2002. It literally came out. Some mean South African threw me on my shoulder and it popped out, and it was.
Was it in a match or like in a
it was
bar?
in an actual fight, and then it was like they had like a high tit, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a 14-year-old girl, I have a titties, and it was horrible, and it just hasn't really worked right since. It would like come and go, and then mostly it just kept going. And
Has it gone out during a fight? It's happened, right?
No, here's the thing, man. It came out so many times in 2007. I had surgery, and now it's so locked in there, I can't. You
can't throw the right, like you want to throw the right.
I can't throw that baseball anymore, the over.
Well, fuck the baseball. What about the punch?
No, that's the terminology for the Chuck Liddell. When he throws that overhand haymaker, that's throwing a baseball. It's the same body mechanics.
Now, everyone that's going to fight you knows that.
Everybody's already known that.
I haven't thrown towards your right hand.
I haven't thrown a right hand with heat on it since 2006 or 7. There's been nothing on it.
Was that why you leg kicked the shit out of Rampage Jackson? You were the first guy I saw win a fight, presumably on leg kicks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for leg kicks. The Benson Henderson fight against Gilbert Melendez, I thought he won the first round because it was 20 leg kicks. Yeah. And he's the champion. I'm sorry. And I know Gilbert caught a ton of them. Did you think Benson Henderson won that fight?
I did, but I haven't seen the whole thing. But I did, just because I like him. I'm very partial. I'm not like I thought Frank Mir won that fight too.
That was a terrible fight.
I still thought Frank won.
You know who won that fight? Diabetes.
You know who did win that fight? Everyone that watched.
The Diabetes won that fight. Just two fat guys sweating gravy.
Oh yeah.
That's the first fight where the mat tapped out. Yeah. Get these guys off of me. All right. So, Chael Sonnen, is he the real deal at this point, or is it time for Chael to go to WWF?
He's still a great fighter. He still can beat most anybody. The problem is, he's in a similar place to the rest of us. You're not going to beat the top guys at 85 or 205.
Yeah, they're so
those top
perfect.
Couple guys, you're not going to beat them, period. So that's why I don't try. I just want to have good fights with other old guys. Just beat the shit out of each other.
Pre-fight music is just a toss-up?
Man, I still go with old school 9 Inch Nails, push-ups.
But what's the song?
No, man, there's just put the whole CD in. Because you got a while. But no, I like, let's see. Well, I used to listen to the Dropkick Murphys before I went out, but now that I listen to them, on the way out, I don't bother. It's like old, harder stuff. Maybe in the Tool song, mix it up. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I'm asking you.
I like Florence and the Machine a lot. Let's give that a shot.
I come out to Adele, bug everybody out.
No.
What's the most fun place that you fought that wasn't like your home turf?
Oh,
you never had a fight in your home turf, did you? Not a big one.
Well, no, Vegas is home, so I fight Vegas.
But you're a Georgia boy,
yeah.
you know.
Well, I fought in Georgia a bunch too.
But you never had like a
UFC
title fight in Athens.
No, but I fought in front of thousands of people.
Oh, okay.
At the main event thing a couple times, in the same arena the UFC uses. It was just like a third as full.
It's like in comedy.
Not even a third as full.
I know exactly.
Like,
every comic listening knows.
I'm like, whoa, we're in a 6,000 person arena with 2,000 people. This sucks.
In comedy, you know what they do when you do a theater? They pull a curtain. There's 3/4 of the way up.
Just half it. Yeah,
they do that in fighting too.
They do it for the weigh-ins. So yeah.
So what's your favorite city to fight in, other than I guess Vegas?
I don't know. I'm open to new things now. Definitely not Connecticut, not New Jersey. Like there's some people that really like hard asses. There's like the commissions all up in your, business and whatnot.
But I mean, like when you vibe out the crowd coming out, or are you so focused on the task at hand?
Ireland was a really good crowd because they started doing the ole, ole, ole chant.
Who did you fight in Ireland?
Hector Ramirez.
And you beat Hector Ramirez.
I did.
So that if you lost, maybe you wouldn't like Ireland so much.
Well, I mean, it was just the crowd too. And, the other fight that was really good was that whole me and Stefan fight, because the crowd got into it and they started stomping. And I could actually feel the cage shaking, and that kind of like gave me a little more energy because I had none whatsoever. Like, yeah, the cage is kind of vibrating. That's awesome. Things that vibrate are cool.
Well, we're going to bring out a tuning fork, and that's how we're going to close the podcast, and we're just going to vibrate it out. So you really came here. You have nothing to promote. You have an audition tomorrow.
Yeah. Scorpion King 72.
What is it really? Can you say it? We'll take it out.
No, it's really the Scorpion King something or other.
And you play like Thug number 2?
Yeah, pretty much.
How many lines of dialogue do you have?
Well, I got like 6 memorized, so hopefully just 6.
You got to memorize all of them. You have to. You can't go in there and not have them all memorized. You're not allowed to.
I'd take my fucking shirt off on auditions. I can do whatever I want.
You got to get this gig. You have to get this gig, bro.
No, but my whole goal with this is just to at least break even for the trips to LA on acting.
Are we supposed to pay the guests, Angie? That wasn't made where of that. All right, so you guys listen, I read God Fight, and I really liked it.
And he thought about reading. See, what do I need a third book for? You hadn't read the second one.
No, I didn't even know it existed until I went on your website.
It's reasonably good. I really like it personally. But then, you know how like some people, they'll write like 10 good books and then get on their passion project? I wrote one book and was like, fuck it, passion project right now.
Yeah.
Topic that only I really like.
But the self-help one, I think you got to go back. I think that's a really good, funny thing. And the first chapter of that, you smashing your phone because you're so angry at your mom because she can't follow simple directions. And then it's about a self-help book. It's like you just added 2 chapters to your own book. So about 6 months, we see you get in the cage. Are you going to go big like Ali? You going to go fight Foreman first? I mean, who's Phil Hughes? No, I mean, you don't know.
No, like again, another like I want to fight. Somebody else kind of established, maybe a little older. Like I said, I'm not trying to be champion of the world. That's crazy.
Right, but you don't want like a tune-up fight. You don't, because that's
there's no
your
tune-up
time.
fights in the UFC anymore. Unfortunately, the tune-up fight is basically a young kid with that's hungrier than you. Fuck a tune-up fight.
Fuck that.
The same boxing. There's not. The people that are coming to play, they want to.
The people that listen to this podcast that are huge fight fans, they're going to want to hear like just 3 names. Just pull them out of your ass.
3 names. Bob Sapp, George Foreman, because I hear he's not doing too great anymore, and Muhammad Ali. Why not?
You think you can take Ali?
Oh, yeah.
You and him just at a bird feeder, just spreading the seat around?
We get it done.
So you really are here to promote nothing, and you just are on the podcast, and I can't thank you enough. I'm a big fan of yours, big fan of fighting, and just much respect, brother. Win, lose, or draw, just fix your fucking shoulder and stop popping that shit out. Stem cells. You know what?
I should inject them in my scrotum, see if I grow a new nut.
I like you with one nut.
Yeah, no.
That might be the strangest thing I've ever said to a man in my own home. Look, I like you like same-sex couple conversations. No, I like you with one nut. All right, Forrest Griffin. Hit him up on Twitter at Forrest Griffin. 2 R's, Forrest Griffin. Hashtag more stories. Let him know you heard him here. And he's just a good egg. He's a good guy. He's got a daughter to support. So go buy his books. Get him paid. And when he fights, let's get him to come out to fish.
Yes.
All right, so Forrest, we're doing this thing, YouTube channel for the More Stories podcast, More Stories Balls, youtube.com/More Stories Balls, thousands of subscriptions. If you guys right now go to youtube.com/More Stories Balls, you can see Forrest Griffin. He's going to actually choke me out. But if I tap, you have to stop, right?
Yeah, sure.
Come on.
No, I
This is
mean,
scary
no,
for me.
it's up to you, boss. I don't want to be the guy that killed Jay Mohr, for fuck's sake.
But you know what? You're right.
I don't want to fucking...
LegalZoom.com. You don't know what my will is.
That's got to be.
You don't know what my... I've left you nothing in my will, and it will be on film. So when I
don't want to be that guy.
We are making a law agreement that... Shake my hand.